J Lings has been money. The dude has been money, man. I think that in the 7, 8, or 9 games he's played for West Ham, he has outscored Timo Werner. I believe that is true. In those few games he's played for West Ham, he has actually outscored Timo Werner. Amazing. Um, and if West Ham get top four, and they could get top four, if they get top four, he would be a huge reason why they got there. But here's what we need to understand about football 101. 1 plus 1 doesn't always equal 2 in football, and that is why we love the sport so much, because it's so complicated and it is you have to look beyond what is on face value, because again you just have to look at it in a more 4 5 dimensional way. So the issue now is, oh, he's amazing for West Ham. Oh, when he comes back at Man United, he'll do great. He isn't a. That's why I wanted to check his age before I did this. If he was a 21-year-old, then it'd be like, aha, he's gone, he's improved his game, taking his game to the next level. So therefore he can now come back. And that is why you always send young players out on loan, because you can't promise them the kind of game time that they need to improve themselves, because you can train us as much as you want, be given all the tutorship. What improves you as a player is playing and game time, and sometimes playing in a different team, in a different system that can give you the confidence, as opposed to this big team that has pressure upon you. So you look at the situation right now where, is it right to assume that, okay, if he comes back to Man United, he's going to be money? You can't assume that. You can't assume that. He's 28, which means that he is in the period of his peak, that there is only so much improving that he could do. So the situation that Lingard has to say to himself is that, do you now want to go back to Man United where it doesn't click for you, doesn't work for you, and you're now back on the bench? Or are you like, oh, this situation I'm in works for me, where I could potentially play myself into a flipping England squad at the Euros, because you're not going to be picked because you play for Man United. You're going to be picked if you're playing well. So it could be a situation where, because of Moyes' system, how he plays, how he wants them to move the ball around, how he positions people onto the pitch, and how he is connecting with the players around him, Noble, Antonio, so forth, that it's like, oh no, this just seems to work for me a lot better than what Ole-Gunnar Solskjaer wants his team to do, how he wants them to move the ball around, and also how I am linking it in with the players around me. So Lingard has to be very careful, because if I was advising Lingard, if I was advising him, stay at West Ham. Stay at West Ham. Because United are going to continue to buy players, get more players, and so forth. And you cannot guarantee that if you go back, you're going to be money. What situation you have is that, no, this West Ham thing works for me. It works well for me, and I'm looking good. Because again, if you play well, you play well, whoever you're with. Like, who's home with Danny Ings? He's even been considered to be in the England squad, but he plays for Southampton. So it doesn't really matter, just as long as you're playing well. So for United, I'm sure United fans are like, oh my gosh, look at how amazing he's doing. If he comes back, he'll be amazing. Football doesn't work like that, though. Football is more complex, and it's about your environment and how you interact with the players around you and the system that you're playing in. Or Solskjaer's psychology, his system, his philosophy is totally different from Moyes'. West Ham have different players with different interpretations of the game, as opposed to United and their interpretations of the game. So Lingard may go back and be money, but it ain't guaranteed. It ain't guaranteed. And if I was, just for me assessing it, he's 28. There's only so much improving that he could do. He isn't a Messi. He isn't a Neymar or so forth. He's a pretty decent player, but he isn't any of those players who they have that special thing. I would advise that he stays at West Ham. And advice for United, you've just got to go back into the market and go and actually buy a quality higher tier player, because you just being reactionary of his hot form for West Ham and him playing well for West Ham would be foolish, because him playing well for West Ham doesn't mean that it will be a 100% certainty he plays well for United, man. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Like the vid, subscribe.